Hi, my name is Sharon Gurulette, and I want to welcome you to the first hospitality training provided for the nonprofits and all the volunteers and great workers participating in Benefit All here today at Angel Stadium. I have to tell you that this is one of the most important gifts I think that we can give, and I'm really hoping you'll enjoy and take heed to the wonderful lessons we have for you today. We're going to have Mr. David Brudney, who is a longtime trainer and expert in the field of hospitality, with us, and I want you to know he's not only doing this video so that you can come back and look over and over and share with your friends, but also he'll be with us on the day of the event to kind of just pat you on the back and say, good job, bad job, no, whatever. Anyway, here's David, and thanks so much. We're glad you came with us today.
Hi, welcome to Benefit All Hospitality Training. You may ask, why are we doing hospitality training? Well, today is a special day. Today is a day of gifting. And what's your gift? Your gift is going to be serving the needs of others. And we're going to spend some time today talking about the difference between being nice and being hospitable. But we'll get to that in just a moment. Let me just start by saying who I am. My name is David Brudney, and why am I doing this? Why am I here in this training program? I've spent a lifetime, nearly 5 decades in the hospitality industry. Let me just give you a quick definition. The hospitality industry is hotels, tourism, restaurants, amusement parks, anything that takes care of the public when they are away from their homes. And we take hospitality very seriously. So I have these 5 decades. I have a passion for hospitality. I have a strong need to serve other people. And those that have lasted a long time in my business, the hotel industry, do so because they do bring this passion. And that passion is to serve the needs of other people. Okay, now let me tell you about hotels for just a minute to make a reference here. The hotel industry is pretty big in Southern California, and that's why we do have a great deal of training for all of our employees. We are the #1 private sector industry in Southern California, almost 900,000 jobs, and 1 out of every 8 jobs in the private sector is the hospitality industry. Okay, so again, why do I feel comfortable doing this? And give you a little background on me. Well, my wife for many years, by the way, I'm very comfortable being in a service giving for the needs, those that need business. I'm very comfortable. My wife for many years was a lay chaplain at the Los Angeles County Jail, women's jail. And so I, being a hotel consultant and us being empty nesters, many nights we'd talk shop over dinner. Karen by day was in the jail with administering to the needs, spiritual and otherwise, of the inmates. And me in my profession, I would spend my time during the day being with hotel managers, owners, lenders, and sales managers. And so over dinner, we'd talk shop. And we wind up talking about injustice, violence, abuse, drugs. Then I would say, Karen, that's enough about my business. Let's talk about yours. And so forth and so on. Let's talk for just a minute about the difference of being nice and being hospitable. Okay? Now, everybody knows, simple definition of nice. You want to smile when you greet someone. You certainly want to be polite. But, being nice, you can also be insincere because you really have no skin in the game. You don't necessarily have to answer the questions that people are going to be asking. On the other side, in the hospitality industry, we take ownership in serving the other guests. And I'd like to introduce an analogy of, we're around the holidays, and there'll be many parties that you may be going to or you may be hosting. If you host a party in your own home, then you take ownership of making sure the guest is going to be comfortable. And here's a couple of things. You want to make sure the front porch is clean. You got the kids' bikes and all those things off it. You want to make sure the porch light is on. You want to canvass the street to make sure there's places for people to park. If they can't park, they're going to be upset by the time they come into your home. You want to make sure that you have a closet or some place where you can hang wraps. You want to make sure that if someone has come there and they need to do something, they give you a special request, I can't eat this, I can't eat that you can accommodate that. And in general, you want to make sure that the guest in your home is going to be comfortable and is going to enjoy themselves. And that's part of what we mean by being hospitable. It's making sure it's anticipating the needs of everyone else. In our business, just a couple of examples, Ritz-Carlton and Four Seasons, they take the hospitality culture very seriously. They have what they call a policy of 5, 10, and first and last. And it's really kind of interesting when you think about it. I don't know how many of you have stayed in a Four Seasons or a Ritz-Carlton, but the 5, 10 works this way. When any employee sees a guest walking directly towards them or by them, within 10 feet, the employee must make eye contact. And when they get within 5 feet, the employee must speak. And then the other one is first and last. The employee speaks first and then speaks last. And sometimes when the guest says thank you very much and walks away, the guest will invariably have to say something else because they must speak last. There's a difference between a good hotel and a great hotel. It's also relevant for what you're doing and what you're asked to do today. In a good hotel, the employees know the names of the guests. But in a great hotel, the guests know the names of the employees. Now just imagine somebody arriving at a hotel and asking, is Charlie still here? Is the bellman? I want to use Charlie this time. You imagine the impression that Charlie made on that guest the last time they were there. All of these things, 5, 10, first and last, difference between good and great hotel. The we, me, I came from a culture with Westin hotels where we were trained to never use I, never use me, never use mine. It's we, ours, and us. This is our hotel, and we're very glad to have you here. And what does that do that makes a great impression on the guest? The guest begins to feel a little more appreciated, recognized, and valued. And that's what we want to try to do here at Benefit All. We want to make everyone that you come in contact with feel valued and recognized. So finally, and by the way, this doesn't apply just to the gifters. It doesn't apply to the sponsors, but also the donors, the attendees, the entertainers, everyone that has volunteered their services. We want to make them all feel that way, and that's where you come in. That's why it's so important for your adopting a hospitality culture. So here's a quick checklist for us to finish this segment. First of all, by all means, leave your problems and your egos in the glove compartment. No one wants to hear today what you had to do and the sacrifices you had to make. So that's pretty obvious, but try to remember that. Of course, you need to smile. Smile is extremely important. But more important than the smile is the eye contact. The eye contact is very, very critical with each person that you come in contact with. If you're not supposed to be seated, you need to stand. Standing shows respect, recognition of the person that you're speaking with. And by all means, you got to show interest. Show interest in the person from the minute you make eye contact. And here's what should be going on in the back of your mind. How can I help? What will this individual need from me? What kind of needs are these folks going to need? What kind of questions are they going to ask? And gee, if I can't answer those questions, who can? Who can answer those questions? How can I take this person to someone who will be able to answer the question? Think about that all in advance. So, you might ask, from all these things we do in hospitality, is there a return on investment? You bet there is. The real return on investment is that by doing these things, the guest feels recognized, the guest feels valued, and the guest would be more apt to return to that place of business. That's the biggest return on investment I can share with you. So in closing, what do you say we all adopt a pledge? We'll call it the Benefit Pledge. We want you to give everyone that you come in contact with, not just the gifters, the volunteers, the sponsors, the donors, the entertainers, everyone that hears today is playing a role. We want you to give them the same respect and equality all across the board, and serve them with a true hospitality heart. That's it. Put your heart into what you're doing. You're going to love what you do today, and by all means, have fun. I'm sure you will. Thank you.
Thank you again for your attention today. I hope you enjoyed and understood and really take to heart the messages that David gave us today. We're going to be doing more work with David in the future. If you're interested and want to talk to him for further information, he can be reached at www.davidbrudney.com. He's located down in Carlsbad, so he's not that far away. And again, hope you appreciate the gift that David gave us today. Now go out and share yours. Thank you.